Good morning. Yes, normally I wake up very early to fly with Solar Impulse. This time in New York, I'm really happy to be able to talk to you. Even if I don't fly, I think the message of Solar Impulse is almost more important than the flight itself, what we want to communicate.
Thank you very, very much for your first impressions from the very beginning of the morning in New York. Can you explain us a little bit what's going on? Because probably you hoped that you would be flying today. I think weather is more important. You have to wait a little bit and explain us what's going on.
So we are now on our way around the world. We have done 2/3 of the circumnavigation with our solar-powered airplane. That means an airplane that flies with no fuel. An airplane that can capture the energy of the sun in order to run 4 electrical motors, like you see on the pictures behind me, and at the same time load the batteries in order to be able to spend the night in the air and continue the following day, making several cycles and reaching almost perpetual endurance. So this is really the message I would like to address today. Because most of the time, when we speak about climate change, we speak about problems, about increase of sea level, millions of climatic refugees. We speak about the protection of the environment as something expensive. We want to reduce mobility. We want to reduce comfort, reduce growth, fight against consumption. And we see that it does not work. What we need now are solutions that are profitable and that are realistic. So in your conference today, I think there is a higher level than normally. Normally, we would not speak of pledges. We would repeat all the problems. And you have now this possibility to bring the pledges of the countries. You have the possibility to speak about solutions. And this is exactly what we need. Solar Impulse is the demonstrations that the solutions exist. And today we have to be ambitious. We don't need to wait for new innovations, for new inventions to come. Today, and this is really important for everybody to understand, the clean technologies allow already a reduction of 50%, 50% in the CO2 emissions and the energy consumption. And when I say clean technologies, it is not only renewable energies. It is not only a question of producing more energy with solar, with wind, with biomass or anything. It's a question of clean technologies that can reduce the energy efficiency, that can reduce the energy consumption by increasing energy efficiency. And how does this work? Well, just imagine that today we are very, very demanding in terms of smartphones, computers, applications, television, all these multimedia. We always want the best and the latest model. But for everything that has to do with energy consumption, we're completely laid back. We have combustion engines, which have less than 30% efficiency. It means that 70% is lost. We have badly insulated houses. We have incandescent light bulbs. We still have distribution of energy which is completely outdated. Air conditioning or heating systems that are 100 years old. This has to be replaced. This has to be replaced by electrical mobility, by LED lamps, by insulated houses. Today we can insulate houses so well that we save 80% of their energy. We can switch to heat pumps instead of the system of heating we have today. And we have smart grids that integrate a lot of different sources of energy in order to store them, distribute them, spread them where they are needed and at the time they are needed. And this replacement of old technologies by clean technologies are profitable. It creates jobs, it makes money, it increases the GDP, but it's a cleaner GDP. It's a huge market to replace outdated systems by modern systems. It's a huge market for the industry. Also for the quality of air, to fight against the depletion of natural resources. So we see that for the first time, the protection of the environment starts to be profitable, starts to be exciting. Can you imagine all the technologies on an airplane like that going to everybody for cars, for houses, for industry processes, for smart grids? This is why we can be ambitious today. This is why the countries should pledge for a lot of results. You know, we don't only need explorers, we don't only need adventurers that fly on a solar airplane. We need today heads of states and ministers that put the legal framework to change the world. We have legal framework for everything, for hygiene, for education, for health, for taxes, for justice, for security, for everything, but not for energy efficiency. And this is where we have to work, because if we really put a strong framework to oblige the replacement of old technologies by modern technologies, we will not only save the environment, but we will save the industry. We will allow a lot of profit, and we will allow a lot of results. So conferences about environment in the future should not anymore be the list of problems, it should be the list of all the solutions. And all the solutions, of course, will be different for every country, depending on its social, economical, geographic, meteorological situation. But the role of UNEP, the role of the specialist, the role of the scientist, and maybe the role of explorers, like in Solar Impulse, is to encourage the governments to be ambitious and to use the solutions we have today. So this is why I think all the pledges of the countries that you will receive are pledges that have to be extremely ambitious. They should not wait for new technologies. The technologies are already here. So I really wish you a good luck, and you can follow what we do with Solar Impulse. The next flight, probably in 2 days, will be to arrive in New York, to fly over the Statue of Liberty, because today liberty is about being free from the dependency to polluting technologies and polluting energies. And in a couple of days, maybe a week, I hope that I can be able to fly to Europe, across the Atlantic. Atlantic is the symbol between the old world and the new world, and today the new world is the world of clean technologies, and this is where I all invite you to go, not only with Solar Impulse, but with decisions of the countries. So good luck to all, and I hope you have a lot of success. Can you speak more in the microphone? I'm sorry, but I don't hear your question.
Sorry, can you hear me now?
Now I can hear you, yes. I hear you really very broken, very difficult to understand. I understand that you asked me what is the next project. Well, first we have to finish this one. We have to cross the Atlantic and come back to Abu Dhabi. Abu Dhabi is the place where everything around the world started, thanks to Masdar. You know, Masdar in Abu Dhabi is the agency that is really working a lot in diversification of sources of energy. Abu Dhabi is an oil-producing country which has seen the importance for its economical development to shift to clean technologies and renewable energy. This is why we will land there. Now, there is something that I have very much in my heart for the future. That can be the legacy of Solar Impulse. It is the Future is Clean initiative. We have now, in the Future is Clean initiative, 420 associations, NGOs, organizations that are in clean technology, that are in renewable energy, that are in protection of the environment. And I would like to transform this initiative into a federation of clean tech, a world federation, bringing together all the actors of clean technologies and protection of the environment, which are not already at a governmental level, in order to help the governmental level. Because this federation would not be prisoner of any lobby or any industry, and it could help the governments to implement solutions. Help governments, depending on their situation, economical, geographical, metallurgical, social, and whatever, to find the right technologies, the right clean technologies to fit into the legal framework. Imagine that the governments say, for example, that all the houses should reduce by 80% their emissions. Depending on the countries, there will be different solutions, and this federation could help for the solutions, could help also to advise on new industrial process, can advise the governments for implementation of smart grids. It's something that is missing already today. And I think it could be a legacy of Solar Impulse, really to implement all the technologies that exist now into the market. And of course, education. But education needs 20 years to bring the result. And today, we need the results very, very quickly. So this is on what I am working today. And I am sure that we can have with the UNEP, with your delegates, with all the governments, we can have a very fruitful and successful collaboration in the future.
Thank you very much, Bertrand. All Europe and region encourage the very impressive testimonial. We know now our solutions, we know how to do our job. Let me conclude that with a very personal testimonial. I make it in French. J'ai rencontré notre père en 1934, juste avant l'exposition nationale de Lausanne. On construisait dans la ville où j'ai grandi un sous-marin. C'était pas encore le Mac 4, c'était le démonstration. Et c'était une mer d'exploration pendant un peu de temps pour voir quelque chose d'absolument réalisé, continuer dans la tradition familiale. Et c'est vraiment très impressionnant de voir l'intégrer, de donner la possibilité de faire un mouvement et de comprendre les réalités. Merci beaucoup. Bonne nuit à New York.
Merci et bonne chance à vous.